We got a great show today. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to make sure I can see y'all's comments and say hi to everybody while we're doing the show. I always like to be able to interact with y'all, and that way, if you got questions or anything, I can always try and get to them. So today I'm doing we've got Paul Tay, which is running for mayor, and he'll be on around 7:30. And we've got Stephen Moose, which is dealing with a CPS case. They took his son, and he's going to come on and tell a story. But first, before we get to that, I will have some announcements to make. Of course, we've got some events coming up. Arlington, are y'all ready? I know I am. I'm so ready to get back out there. We will be practicing safe distancing, but we will be heading outside Raising Cane's in Arlington again. Dan and Janet rock out there. They are our organizers for Arlington walks, and they do a great job. And I just love them to death. They're great people. So they kick ass out there in Arlington. They are starting a walk, like I said, outside of Raising Cane's. It'll be from 2 to 4:20. So if y'all come out, any new people that come out to see us, I will be giving them a gift, a Walk for Change Willow Creek Springs chapstick. Willow Creek Springs, Joe Grumbine's company, they are great products, and they donated all these little lip balms. They're all CBD, all natural lip balms, coconut oil, I guess, is what they're made of. And they're really good stuff. I use it all the time. So if you come out to see us at the Walk in Arlington, I will personally give you one of these for free. And come hold a sign, say hi, get our flyers we're passing out right now. We're letting people know about the Walk for Change. The Walk for Change will continue on, y'all. It's still going. It won't be Walk for Change 2020 anymore. It'll be Walk for Change 2021. But it is still going. We are still doing this. So if you want to get involved, go to www.walk4change.us, and we will be walking across America for all human rights, not just cannabis prohibition, but of course that's one of the reasons I'm walking. And we're going to be going all the way across America. We're going to be starting in Southern California and going all the way to Washington, D.C. I believe they said February 2021. I think. I've got so many dates in my head, y'all. I'll have to look it up. But I'll make sure and put the links of the Walk for Change actually right now in the thumb. There we go. Walk for Change, y'all. Y'all want to go check them out? Go check them out. Okay, so Walk for Change is also hosting a virtual town hall Saturday, July 25th from 3 to 6. The last town hall was so informational. I learned a lot. I'm really excited about sitting through this one and listening. They had doctors, they had all kinds of nurses, people that knew what they were talking about, very informational. And so, because of the corona and stuff, we're having to do things a little different now. And we're used to getting out there and being hands-on, boots on the ground. So all of us boots on the ground people have been antsy, and the only way that we can really make a difference and do stuff right now with the way things are going is this way. Internet, y'all. It's an amazing thing. We can go and we can get out there and we can get our word out and we can tell people, and education is the key to legalization. Most people who don't understand the benefits of cannabis, you have to teach them. And so the best way to do that is to do town halls like this, educational ones, so that people can learn. While you're sitting at home, you can get out your phone and learn something, get involved, do something, make a difference, because that's the only way we're going to change things around here. Our kids have to live in this world, y'all. Look at this world around you. Is this something you want to leave to your children? Or is there something that you want to change? And if there's something that you want to change, you're asking, well, what do I do? How do I make a difference? The Walk for Change. It's uniting everybody together. We're walking from one side of the country to the other. There will be a huge, huge statement there, y'all, to see that. And we want to be peaceful and stuff, but we want to get our point across. We want to get our point across that we're done with all these injustices, not just cannabis, but there's so many injustices right now in the world. Our police force is militarized. We've got people going to jail for a plant. Any kind of drug, in my opinion, it's not hurting anybody but them. So why make them tear their families apart for something like that? It's crazy. But anyway, there's so many injustices. I could sit here and go on and on. And the only way to make a difference is to stand up and do something about it. So walk for change, y'all. www.walk4change.us. Cool deal. And we have COCW's 3rd annual Texas Canna Fest. Y'all, we are kind of sad to say that we had to cancel, so we won't be at Crystal Beach this year. We were all very disappointed, and it was going to be an amazing, amazing event. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the event that we had this year, move it to next year, but we're still doing this event live for all of y'all on the internet, brought to you live from Cannabis Open Carry Walk. So on Saturday, September 5th, we will be having the 3rd annual Texas Canna Fest Marathon. It will be September 5th, like I said, from 2 to 8 p.m. So y'all mark your calendars. You don't want to miss Canna Fest. It's going to be amazing. We've got the Sarge and his team out there. We've got KM420 Radio and their team out there. And they are just there to show you a great time and educate you on the powers of cannabis and why we need it and why it needs to not be illegal anymore. There will be lots of speakers and great ones, great speakers. We got Karen Reeves from Team Syntech. We've got Russell Longhammer. We've got Tanya Sand. She's my girl. I love that girl. She is so sick, and she still gets on the radio and gets on the internet and tells y'all her story because she is just so passionate because she's going through it. Her family's going through it. And not only that, but she's a nurse. So she knew everything they told you about cannabis at the hospital and stuff. And so her going through that is just amazing. She'll be out there speaking. We'll have Joe Grumbine speaking. Bobby Rodrigo, the man behind the curtain, will be out there speaking. I mean, amazing speakers, y'all. So I'll put the internet in the link here after the show for the Canna Fest, the virtual town hall and all that, so y'all can check them out. I told you about Arlington and the virtual town hall meeting and Canna Fest. So those were the events that I needed to let y'all know about. I hope you can join us for all of them. They're going to be great. So I guess I will go ahead and introduce our first guest. His name is Stephen Moose, and he is going through a horrible time right now with CPS. And I wanted to invite him on and kind of get y'all to hear his story, give him a voice, let y'all hear what he's going through because it's horrible. Hey, Stephen. I see your audio is connecting. Okay, you're muted. Touch your screen and you'll see a little mic. Touch that and unmute. There you go.
Okay.
Heck yeah. Hi, Stephen. How you doing? Can you hear me? Is the audio all right? I'm having a trouble hearing you, I think, maybe.
Yeah, he's not broadcasting.
He's not. Oh, does he got to accept it?
No, he's not muted, but his mic is not working for some reason.
Maybe, Stephen, why don't you get out of the app and try to come back into that link again, if you can hear me, and see if that works. Your audio's not working.
Okay.
There he is. There
you are. I see you now.
No, there you're gone again.
No, it's gone again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, that's weird. I can't. It's only when I go off the app, but it's open in the background is the only time you can hear me.
Right. Weird. Yeah, that's crazy. That's all right. We'll roll with it. How are
All
you
right.
doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I've had better days.
Right. Have you got to see your son recently?
No, they actually canceled my visit today for no reason.
Oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay. Well, I want everybody out there in Facebook land to hear what you're going through. Can you start from the beginning and kind of tell your story?
Yeah. Well, my girl had our baby, and the DCS investigator shows up, and let me think where to start. She showed up and wanted to talk to me. She asked me. She only asked me one time. She said she needed to come see my house, and I was shocked that she was there, and I asked her for some lawful for her to show me my lawful obligation that I had to cooperate with her, and she basically turned around and came back with the cops and got my son. But
Wow.
yeah, I committed no crime, no neglect, no abuse. I was at the hospital since my son was born. My girl had her medical marijuana card, and
Right.
I guess that had a lot to do with why she was there. But she has a case. There's a case open with her older daughter, but it was open on the daughter's father. They weren't together, but her daughter is living with her father,
Right.
and he got a case opened up on him and got their daughter taken away. Well, that was like 2 years ago, and me and her had a baby,
Right.
and PCS showed up and took the baby in the with the TDA meeting or whatever it's called. They told us that they will take any baby that she has, without needing any crime or any reason, no abuse or anything like that.
What the heck? And you said that the case was against her other husband, like the
Yeah,
and
that she had warned them about. See, is what happened was she tried to get some child support out of her daughter's dad, because he makes a lot of money, and he had never even paid anything for his daughter, or he just totally ignores her. And so she had gone to the court to get some child support, and he didn't want to pay it, so he turned it around and fought for custody, and they gave him custody of her. And then I mean, it's a really horrible story. He ended up molesting her and all kinds of stuff like that.
God.
But the thing is it has nothing to do with my son.
Right, exactly. No, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get the audience to get a picture of what's going
right,
on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this was another person. This was actually, he was the one that did the offense, not her. And she split up from him and's gotten with you. And now y'all have had this baby. And
Yeah.
CPS just came in and took it.
Yeah, and they just walked in, and then I remember her telling me, she told me that I have rules that I'm going to have to follow, and I told her that's fine. I'm okay with following rules, and I told her, I said, but you have rules you have to follow as well, and she didn't like that one bit, and she broke every rule that they had after that.
Wow. And so right now, the reasoning that when I was talking to you the other day, you said that the reasoning that they took the baby was because they said it was going through withdrawal.
Well, is what the removal order states is it states two things. It says that our home is unfit, and it says that there's drug problems. And when she stated this and got the removal order approved, they have still never been to my house to say that my home is unfit. We had a bedroom all ready for my son. We had his crib. We had all the stuff that he needed. And there was no way that my home is unfit. But the thing is, she never even came to my house. She did zero investigation. It took her 10 minutes to put in the removal order, get it approved, and be at the hospital and have my son in her hands. Right on the paperwork, it shows a timestamp of 3:20 is when she put in the request. 3:24 is when it got approved, and at 3:30 she writes down that she's got my son.
Oh my God! And so you said that they said that the kid, your son, had drug issues,
Yeah,
right?
he was
And then
having tremors.
Right. And then when they tested the baby,
He's clean.
clean. Right.
Clean. Nothing
That,
in.
that's a big thing right there, because you're taking my child away because it's supposedly going through withdrawal. But yet you tested him and he's clean.
Yeah, and then when it came to court, that first court date, the lady making these claims didn't even show up for court. She sent a substitute in. I put a statement of fact on the record, I filed it with the court, a statement of fact saying that they had never been to my house, and that we weren't on drugs, and that the Social Security Act of 1935 says that they're not allowed to take my baby from me over my objections, and I put that in with the court, and the judge came out and agreed with CPS and kept my son, even though there was no proof or nothing of any abuse, any neglect. I love my kids. I got videos of me holding my son, playing with my son. I only get 4 hours a week with him, and it's horrible that he's actually being abused, and I mean, not abused, but neglected in foster homes.
I was just going to ask about that, because I know that there's some pictures that I've seen, and while he's in CPS care, do you want to explain a little bit about the abuse he's facing right now?
Yeah, it all started. So they took him, and we had one visitation with him, and then it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, and we had another visitation with him, and he had his bottom was so red, there was skin missing. I don't even know if it was a diaper rash, but he was
I've
so.
seen the picture. It was horrible. His poor little butt was red.
And then, I just read what they said about that, and they got it in their paperwork that redness was from the drugs coming out of my son's system.
Whatever. What drugs? They tested him. He was clean.
Yeah, exactly.
That is ridiculous. And what else? I know there's more that's happened. A sunburn or something.
So we saw that and got a picture of it, and so they when we complained about that, they shut us down our visitation, and this was before they shut down in-person visits. It was like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before they actually did that. They shut down, or they shut our visitations down, and we didn't get to even see a video of him for like over a month.
Oh my God.
And then we got to do video visits for, till they lifted that. And so the very first time we seen him in person, his head is flat on one side. It's got a big old dent, and then the other side is all bulging out, and it's horrible. And not only that, but he stunk so bad that even the rest of the day I tried washing the smell off of me, and I smelled it all. I could smell it till the next day.
Man,
he smelled really bad. I don't know. I mean, it just smelled like nobody had bathed him the whole time they were on lockdown. I don't know if that's the case that they never did, but it sure smelled like it.
well, it's clear if his head is on one. I mean, parents know what that is. When a kid is left there and neglected and not taken care of and sitting on one side, they don't roll over. And I mean, that sounds like what that description that you told me, the head, that's just horrible. I mean, they take your kid away from a home that's going to love them, that's got everything prepared, ready for this child to come home and be in nothing but love. They take this kid away and they abuse him, and they don't let the father and mother even see him right now. They're saying because of Corona.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then, now we get to see him. Now we get to see him, but it was like 2 months that we didn't even get to see our newborn, and they took him when he was 2 days old.
Oh my God.
And they got it listed on there. They said that it says that they say we don't know if the parents were bonding with the baby at the hospital. And I mean, I used to sing to her belly up until he was born. I was waiting every day to meet my son.
Let me ask one more question. Yeah, I know we talked about this too. I asked you, did they court order y'all to get drug tested?
They didn't court order it, but they already had my son, so I agreed to go down there, and
Right.
I did drop 2 drug tests before I stopped doing the drug
Right.
test, because I can tell that everything that they're doing is just trying to build more
Right.
against me.
Yes.
I told them that there might be a little bit of marijuana in my system when I go down to test, but I would go down
Right.
and test. And they said that was fine. They just wanted to make sure there was nothing else in my system.
Right.
And the minute that they got the test that said a little bit of marijuana, they acted like, oh, we got you now. And they tried to line me up
Exactly.
all these.
Exactly, y'all. This is bullshit, really. I mean, the only thing they found in your system was a little bit of marijuana,
Yeah.
and then they turn around and try to make you do a hair follicle test or something, didn't they? Was it your wife?
Yeah, they actually, well, the hair follicle test is what they did with her with Sophia.
Right.
With-
Okay.
Yeah.
With the other child.
Yeah, they haven't done the hair follicle with Grayson, but they're so cocky about taking my son. They act like there's nothing that can stop them, and it's starting to feel like that's the case.
That it is the case. I mean, what can we do? When they do that, they come in there and they say you're not taking care of your kid because of a little bit of marijuana. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
and this happens unfortunately all the time. And this is one of the main reasons that I was scared to come out and fight for cannabis, because of CPS. Like, at any moment they could come in here and say I'm not a good mom, but I mean, I live out in the public eye. Everybody sees how I take care of my daughter. Everybody knows my daughter is just fine, healthy. And so, but they could come in here any minute and say, because I smoke cannabis, I'm not a fit parent. And it's wrong. It's totally wrong. And it feels like your hands are tied. There's nothing you can do, but there's things, and I know that Bobby said he wanted to find you a good lawyer that's perfect for this. So,
Yeah, I really need one. I mean, I cry myself to sleep at night. It's so hard to see my son for 2 hours and then have to leave him.
right.
And then every time we see him, there's something more. The last time we seen him, his finger tip was clipped off with nail clippers. And the time before that, he had severe sunburn across his face because they took him camping, left him in the sun. Every single time we see him, he has a new injury. And and I address, and, in court, I address the neglect he's going through, and they could care less. Although they felt so strongly about taking him from me with just the accusation of
Right.
neglect, they don't care nothing about my son's actual neglect.
I'm so sorry you're going through this. I hope that and this is my hope for this show, is to give people a voice. Like, when you're going through this stuff, it feels hopeless. You feel like you're against the world. Like you said, you feel like your hands are tied. And that's what I like about this show, is it gives people a voice. It lets you tell your story. People need to hear it because they don't know until they start hearing what's going on. And they try to cover these cases up I've heard of parents fighting and their kids getting molested in these places, and it's just horrible. They're not taking care of these kids, and it's almost like they're making money off of like legal kidnapping.
Yeah, absolutely. They've already given me a hush order that I said I'm not allowed to even mention my son's name online or post a picture, because I went on Facebook.
They're trying to gag you. They're trying to shut you up.
And
Who gave you an order?
the judge, they had a court hearing without me and no representation for me, and they had a court hearing and sent me the paperwork saying that the judge passed a hush order on me.
Oh
And
my
then-
God.
I don't have a hush order on me, so other people can say your child's name all you want because they don't have a hush order on other people.
Yeah, there you go.
Legal. And your judge has lost his fucking mind. Let me put it that way.
Bobby is a lawyer, by the way. And
No,
he's
I'm
the
not a
one
lawyer.
that's
I'm a
helping.
legal professional. Not
Yeah.
a lawyer. Legal professional. Be clear on that.
Definitely.
I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And anybody can say your child's name all you want. let's just say the order follows you, and it doesn't even apply to you if you're not in Arizona, by the way, but anybody else can, because that order doesn't mean anybody else.
I see a campaign coming on with your son's picture and his name and what he's going through. That's what I see.
Yeah. And I had to take my family court page down. I have a page that I made of family court misconduct, and but my son's mother asked me to take it down because she thinks it's gonna
hurt her case. Yeah.
So that's because you don't have anybody playing offense on your behalf, and that's going to change.
Yeah,
because they have to follow rules, just like you said, and the reason they get away with a lot of this stuff is because the public can't go into these courtrooms because it's for minors, and they do it behind closed doors, and that's the problem, and it is all about the money, and they don't like being proven wrong once they do things, and there's a lot of attorneys out there that are fighting this. Without a doubt. There's a monster one in Nevada, which is just north of you. And I don't know if she'll come down. She has traveled before. But there's a lot of attorneys out there fighting this stuff because it goes on all the time.
It does. It's sad.
Yeah. I've been looking for an attorney, and I'm having a hard time finding anybody that, because a lot of them that I talk to, they just seem like they're part of the scam. They all they want me to do is
because they're public defenders. They're not for you. I'm telling you, those public defenders are for the state.
Yeah, I dismissed the lawyer that they appointed me. I dismissed him right away at the first court date. I said, I'm here to stand up for and answer these charges for myself. And because I didn't want to let him be my voice when I know he's part of their system.
Right.
And until I could afford, somebody
right.
that chosen.
Well, we're going to do everything we can to figure out how to help you. I promise that. Anything we can do, we are for you 100%.
I appreciate that. Also, a friend of mine just got a hold of me the other day and said if I can find a good lawyer, he's going to help me with the costs. So if you guys you guys do find anybody, you can let them know that I can't afford to compensate them for the time.
I'm going to find you somebody. Don't worry.
Yeah, Bobby's looking. He wants to find the perfect one, though. He knows he's trying to match lawyer with your case. Like they're very good at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely appreciate that because in this kind of situation, you need the right person to fight for you. Right.
Well, my heart goes out to you, Stephen. I will do everything I can, like I said, and I'm so sorry. I hope you get to see your son again soon. We'll all be praying for you, and we'll be helping as much as we can. Just let us know what we can do. If you get another court case come up or whatever, and you want to update your story, let us know. We also have
at the end of the month.
Right. Yeah, you can come on, let me know, and we'll update the public on what's going on, and including also Cup of Joe has shows on Wednesday, and we'll talk with him and see if he can't get you on his show as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Always. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming on.
I'll be in touch with you, Steve.
Yep. Nice to talk to you guys.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Man, y'all, my heart goes out to him. I mean, this stuff it happens all the time. And they're trying to gag order him so that he can't talk about what's going on. And that is wrong. That is totally wrong. And so we as the public need to get up at this point and say, okay, like Bobby said, maybe he can't say his name, but damn sure I'll get his name and I'll spread it. Bobby will spread it. So we'll figure it out.
Maybe I can get the judge to send me a gag order so I can have a reason to go into that court hearing.
Right, exactly.
That would be fun.
Heck yeah, y'all. But our next guest, Paul Tay, he is running for mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he should be here shortly, if not already. There he is. I see a screen. Can you hear me, Paul?
Yeah.
There you are. I see you now.
All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Doing good. It's been busy week since we've talked last. Like, it seems like nothing ever stops. I'm going all 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Look at all that swag behind you.
Right. Yes.
We
We got freelance galore over here.
Yeah.
One team, one dream. He's in prison for cannabis in a legal state. And then, of course, we got our walk for change that we're working on right now. That's the walk across America that we're going to be doing next year.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds exciting. Absolutely. Yeah.
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 How you been since the talk last?
Just trying to hang in there with this quarantine stuff. It's killing everybody. It's like, nothing's open. There's nothing to do.
Right.
and all we're doing is just these Zoom meetings.
The only thing we can do right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not getting out there. I mean, the rates are just skyrocketing around here, and it's a kind of scary time.
I've seen a set of face masks at Walmart the other day. You know how much they charge for 20?
$20?
Yes.
$1 a piece?
Yes.
That's
Can
crazy.
you believe that? Those things were cheap as fuck not too long ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember getting a huge pack of them way before all this happened. I still have them, and it's like I never thought I'd use this much.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. I can't believe what's going on. But I want to get to talk. Let the people know who you are. I know you, but they don't know you yet. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people what you're up to in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, my name is Paul Tay, and I'm running for mayor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been involved with the cannabis decriminalization movement since, I guess, 2011, 12, 13-ish.
Wow.
And back in the day, say 1980, I would have been horrified with people smoking pot, getting high and stuff. Propaganda works.
Right.
And then you go through life. I went through college. Military work around the country, and after a while, my views started to evolve. It started to change. I remember watching the California state legislature debating legalization, decriminalization in 1996, and I was just looking at this on my computer. I'm going, my jaw was like dropped.
Right.
Like, oh my God, is this really happening? That they are talking about decriminalizing marijuana in California? I mean, California's crazy enough, but I mean, we're talking 1996.
Yeah.
1996, 97, 98-ish, and then
They were ahead of the game.
They were ahead of the game, and you fast forward to 2011, 2012-ish, and that's when I really got into it. Beyond the the Cheech and Chong, hey, let's get stoned jokes, and that's like
that stigma and cannabis, yeah. Cheech and Chong, yeah.
You think about it, it's like it's crazy. So back in the day, I remember latching onto a YouTube. It's called Reason TV on YouTube. A guy by the name of Judge Jim Gray. He is huge. I mean, his YouTube video is still a classic. And basically, Judge Jim Gray was an Orange County Superior Court judge in California. And he says that he was a military judge, officer, basically rolling all these low-level drug cases, he says, and it's still on YouTube. And he basically lays out, the 7 types of people, groups of people who are benefiting from the war on drugs. And that really turned my whole view on the war on drugs.
Right.
The war on drugs is worse than the drug itself. It's worse than heroin.
Exactly.
It's worse than opioids. It's worse than cocaine, et cetera, et cetera. And it destroys lives, keeps people in poverty, et cetera, et cetera.
Rips families apart.
Tear families apart, get kids taken away.
Turns people into criminals by putting them in prison, and then releases them with no way to get a good job and expect them to rehabilitate.
Yeah, we have a whole generation of just basically ruined lives. And, is it any wonder that we are where we are in America right now?
Right.
It's because we have tore families apart for the last 25, 30 years. For nothing.
It's wrong. It really is.
Didn't make drug abuse
hurt anybody. They didn't hurt anybody at all.
We still have drug abuse.
Right. It's going to be there no matter what. That's the problem we have. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, and here we are. 2020. We're still at it. The war on drugs is not over by a long shot.
All it's done is made the United States a lot of money.
Somebody made a lot of money. Dirty cops, corrupt cops. 1994, the whole entire Key West, Florida Police Department was hit with racketeering, influence, corrupt organization charge.
Wow.
They were all sent to prison, all the chief on down. The whole day I've been, reading up on a court case that was pitched back in 2008 or something like that. Well, maybe not. It was the court case is called Nebraska and Oklahoma versus Colorado. And I don't know if you guys remember that case, but back in the day, the Attorney General of Oklahoma and Nebraska tried to sue Colorado because they felt like Colorado weed was crossing state lines in Nebraska and Oklahoma and creating all kinds of problems.
Right.
And you read through that and read through, their initial brief to get permission from the Supreme Court to actually sue Colorado. That case was actually thrown out. And the reason I brought that up is because I was the guy that challenged the constitutionality of a particular state question here in Oklahoma to legalize and decriminalize what we call adult use,
right?
AKA recreational marijuana.
Right.
I don't get recreational marijuana because to me all
it's
marijuana
all medical,
is
right?
Medical. You got a headache?
Yeah.
You joint. You got some anxiety.
It should be right there with our natural healing products. Like there's no overdose. There's no nothing. Yeah. They just want to make money off of it. So any way they can make more money off of, because now they got to replace the money they were making by throwing us in jail. So they got to figure out how to make the money go from there to this greedy guy's hands, from here to this greedy guy's hands. Either way, it's going to the greedy guy, one way or the other.
And the whole system is just totally corrupt, really. Judges are corrupt, prosecutors are corrupt. We have judges here in Tulsa that are still throwing people in jails and prisons for marijuana when they themselves are smoking the marijuana too.
Right.
And it's a corrupting influence, and it's caused all this problem that we have right now. It's a racial divide, really. So what we've got to do is we've got to get on the track of actually, first of all, calling for the unconstitutionality of the Controlled Substances Act.
Right.
And it doesn't look like Congress has any motivation to do anything about it right now. So we're looking at court cases. And it turns out that the U.S. Supreme Court came this close to ruling on the possibility of declaring Controlled Substances Act either constitutional or unconstitutional back in 2007, 2008, something like that. Case by the name of Gonzalez versus Reich. And that's closest that the Supreme Court has ever come to ruling one way or another whether the Controlled Substances Act can, in fact, supersede the state statutes of 33 states across what I call the Confederate Cannabis States of America. Obviously, the states are just huge. And when I filed the constitutional challenge against State Question 807 here in Oklahoma, I used the same exact argument that the Attorney General Scott Pruitt and Attorney General in Nebraska used, which is a supremacy clause.
Right.
And it's not that I'm trying to. First of all, I am pro weed, but what it was is I was trying to really stop a state question that was actually going to promote recreational marijuana.
Right.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. But I mean, it's an idea, it's a thought, I mean, the way we're going, it's not really working very well, so.
Exactly. California has the most overregulated market in the country.
Right.
Oregon has the most oversupplied market in the country. The quickest way to bump up your margin, really, is to make the plant cross state lines. You just at least double your margin if you make the thing go cross state lines. Of course, you've doubled your risk
right.
of some serious time in a federal prison. Just for simple possession under the Controlled Substances Act is a misdemeanor.
Right.
Of course, the feds are not going to go out and bust you for simple possession. They may use it for other situations,
right.
for other crimes, to get you on other crimes. They'll find, they think you're, a suspect in some other serious crime, and they find, marijuana in your pocket. You get charged with you get put in jail, held in custody until they figure out if they've got probable cause for other serious crimes you committed.
Guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Right. Usually it's a gang-related situation. We've got the Irish mob out there. We've got the Mexican mafia supplying the Irish mob, and the war on drugs is never ending because the supply is never ending.
Right.
The demand is never ending. And just because the feds take down one guy or even a whole gang of drug traffickers doesn't mean that the drug supply stops.
Open a door to some other guy that's going to supply, yeah.
And it's just right there. As soon as somebody gets busted, somebody's there right there to take their spot. Boom.
Right.
Right there.
Well, that's just it. A lot of people, I hear this all the time. Well, move to another legal state, or, their state's legal. Why are they worried about it? But what they don't understand is, no, it's not. Just because the state says it's legal doesn't mean the feds can't come in and bust up their whole operation if they want.
Absolutely.
So you've caused this bully gang to basically control who is allowed to sell and who is not. And if you step out of line, you're not allowed to sell anymore. We're going to bust you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot of corrupt DEA agents controlling the market, really.
Yep.
The government is really doing itself a disservice if, in fact, they are truly trying to prevent drug abuse.
Right.
They're not doing themselves any favors.
They're not trying to do that because throwing people in jail doesn't help their addiction. They are addicted because of some pain they've gone through and they're trying to cover it up. Or, you know what I mean? And if you're not, just because you throw somebody in jail doesn't mean they're going to rehabilitate. You've cut them off from their drug supply. Well, not really, because everybody can tell you can get drugs in jail just as easy as you can out here. But you cut off their drug supply, but you're not solving the problem. You're not rehabilitating the person. They
Absolutely
should be in rehab, not jail. Like,
absolutely. We've got to get to a point where we start thinking about drug abuse as a public health issue instead of a criminal issue. If, in fact, that's where we want to be in terms of fixing the individual,
right.
fixing the city, fixing the nation in general. And I truly believe that everything that's happening right now can be traced back to the war on drugs. If we can get rid of the war, if we can just stop the war on drugs and start thinking about the whole idea of drug abuse as a public health policy, we can solve we can solve 80% of the situations out there.
Right, right.
And just because you're in a legal state does not mean that you are legal. Right. You are just in a mental you're just disconnected from reality. The reality is, here in Oklahoma recently, we just had a Supreme Court case that basically declared that the state of Oklahoma has stole Indian land. Half of the state is now considered rightful Indian property, rightful Indian reservation. Okay,
yeah.
And we already got 2 major criminal cases that the state can't prosecute because of that decision.
Right.
And
yeah, because when you're on the reservation, they don't deal with state law.
Exactly.
Because I was talking to Apache Nation Charles Vargas, and he was explaining that to me. He was like, "Yeah, no, we're our own nation. Like, they can't say shit on our land." So
and it just happens that the city of Tulsa is on an Indian reservation, on Indian territory. So not only
about karma biting them in their ass, that's what they get.
Yeah, not only is our major crimes affected, but what about zoning, property rights? A lot of issues dealing with cannabis is related to property. we've got to have growers that are zoned in a particular way, dispensaries that are zoned in a particular area of town, et cetera, and these are civil cases, and the whole thing goes from there. I'm not a lawyer, and I just ended up learning enough to be annoying and probably dangerous. So, but if you can see the implications of the whole idea of taking away jurisdiction in criminal cases, if you can take jurisdiction away from criminal cases, what's to stop you from taking away jurisdiction from civil cases?
Right.
Property disputes, zoning, building codes, et cetera. And I've got a question, does the city of Tulsa have any jurisdictional rights when we are on Indian territory?
Right.
When back in the day, people stole land from the natives, that original land deed, that's got to be illegal.
Their own people sold them out, man. I mean, from what I understand, it all came down to their people sold their property to the government. Like, it's fucked up.
And it turns out that, you know, what is Oklahoma? 90% of the people have some kind of Indian blood here.
Exactly. I got Indian in me, not a whole lot, but I do. I have Cherokee in me.
Yeah, yeah. And because of that case, what's going to happen right away is we're going to have a lot of federal agents in Indian Territory, city of Tulsa. What happens when you get federal agents close by? They got to have something to do. Guess what? The war on drugs is still going on. Okay, we've got more dispensaries in the city of Tulsa than churches now.
Right.
Okay, let's say you know, you got a crooked DEA agent out there, and he's not getting his cut. He can go bust a dispensary.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely be positive that there's cops shaking down businesses, making them pay so they don't get busted. I mean, I guarantee it. Like,
oh, you know it. You know, the only reason meth dealers get busted is because they didn't pay their cop.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that are doing business like normal, they're paying their cop. That's all there is to it. And you're going to have a lot of DEA federal agents in town looking at you know, dispensaries. And a lot of dispensaries you know, are, you know, questionable,
Right.
if you will. I mean, we've got the totally legal market, which is very expensive to operate in. Legal state legal.
You're never going to get rid of your black market that way. Like,
You're never going to get rid of then you have your black market, you have your, you know, middle ground gray market. And here in Oklahoma, we actually have a cannabis church in Oklahoma City.
cool.
Church 420. They
yeah.
hold services, and they broadcast on Facebook. I watch it.
Oh yeah.
And there's a cannabis incubator, cannabis business incubator in that building in Oklahoma City, and they're out there. And we've got federal agents,
Freedom of religion.
We've got federal agents coming in.
Right.
And that's you know, the war on drugs is on again.
Yeah.
Out in the open.
Man, it's crazy. So no, I like all your ideas. You've got some crazy ones, but I can be down with some of them. I understand what you're saying. You know, we got to make a change. We got to make a difference. Like you said, the black market isn't going to go away the way they're doing this, the laws and all that. It's so much simpler just to pay my dealer and get fucking the amount I get for the price I get. I ain't got to pay an arm and a leg, and I can grow my own. Like, it's so easy. And why would I want to pay all this money to buy weed because it's got a brand on it? And like, it's crazy.
Yeah, what we're doing right now, even with the state legal weed, it's not working. It's not working. The number one reason why it's not working as a market, as a business proposition, is crossing state lines. That is the one key. You've got to put the supply where the demand is. When the supply is is oversupply, guess what? The prices drop like a rock. You got you know, 30-40% THC, you know, selling for, you know, a song and a dance.
Right.
I mean, it's selling for you know, dirt weed that you can get, you know, by the railroad tracks. I see the Oklahoma market collapsing under its own weight until it can cross state lines legally.
That's so crazy, because honestly, before I spoke with you, I used to think that marijuana legalization was going good in Oklahoma. Like, I'm in Texas though, so I get what I hear, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then talking to you, you understand, no, it's not doing good. It's there. Things need to change. Things need
to change. Even in Oklahoma, the grass is not greener
on the other
on
side.
the other side of the Red River. I feel for Texas.
And we can't do nothing. Our hands are tied.
You have nothing at all. We have something, to hang on to, but it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all illusion.
I'm a Texas native. I've been here my whole life. I was born and raised in Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Okay. And I am moving.
Wow.
I'm leaving because I have noticed as an activist here, there is nothing really that you can do. You can fight, you can get out on the street, you can, and I can't petition. We can't change laws. It's all dirty and it's all greed. And it's pissed me off. And I'm moving. I'm getting out of Texas.
Wow.
I'm still going to fight and continue to fight for Texas. But myself, I'm moving because number one, it's safer. I won't get my kid taken away. I'll be able to use my medicine and I can still continue to fight and do what I do from another state. It's close enough to where I can still do walks. Amarillo, here we come. I know a lot of people have been asking us to go to Amarillo. What we'll be doing is driving down once a month from Colorado and doing walks in Amarillo and driving back. So COCW Colorado coming soon.
That is the most saddest statement ever. When you are forced to leave, leave your home.
My home state that I've lived my whole life.
Wow.
And that's coming from an activist that has gone the legal way, like everybody told me you should. Go fight, go to the court, go to Austin. It does. All the activists here are really heartbroken because they're realizing that the state of Texas is not for the people. It's greed and money, and they will do what they want. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's all graph, and yeah, that is really sad. That is sad. And the true fact of the matter is, the people of Texas, probably 85% of them are supportive of marijuana decriminalization.
It's overwhelming the support medically for cannabis in Texas. We are more than 75% people are okay with it.
And the folks who are in office still get voted on to stay in office.
Yep.
And it is just.
It is. It's sad, and I know, but I will continue to fight. Like nobody's shutting me up. Like.
Yeah.
I'm addicted now. Give me something to fight for. I'm in.
Yeah.
But hell yeah. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming on. Mayor for Tulsa, Oklahoma, y'all. How do they get a hold of you?
I'm on Facebook, Paul Tay. I have my campaign page, Paul Tay, Tulsa Mayor 2020. You can send an instant message, whatever. That's probably the quickest way to get a hold of me on Facebook, and I check that, and whatever I can do to help. Really, I'm like one guy.
Right.
And we just need to have one guy hook up with another.
We're all just one guy. We're all just one guy.
Yeah. Okay.
We can make a difference. We really can. We got to get together and fight on it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, Paul. It is 8:00, so that's our show for today.
All right, Candis. We'll see you next time.
You have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Heck yeah, y'all. So that's Canna Corner for today. Remember, Raising Canes will be July 18th from 2 to 4:20. So if y'all are out in the Arlington area on North Collins Street, we will be out there showing our support for legalizing cannabis and ending cannabis prohibition. And Human Solution International, y'all, we are their Texas chapter, and we will be spreading the word about them as well as the Walk for Change. Walking across America soon. I love all y'all. Y'all have a great night. Peace.